Hi, I'm going to show you now how to make a miso chicken noodle soup, which is from the new Gut Health collection from Louise Keats on Cookie Do. And the first step is asking me to cook some noodles. I'll just show you. I've got my noodles here in my oval thermo server, and I'm just going to pour some boiling water over the noodles. And these will I'll just set this aside to cook while I carry on with the rest of the recipe in the Thermomix. Put the lid on there, and the noodles I've chosen to use are ramen noodles. You can use soba, you could use any dried noodles, rice noodles, it doesn't matter. But I just get these from the Asian section. I love using those noodles in a lot of different recipes. So I'm going to set this aside. Put that over there. Okay, so I have the recipe here in my meal planner for today. So I will click in and press start. And it's telling me to prepare the noodles, which you just saw me do. And so now I'll just carry on with the rest of the recipe. So the first step is to add fresh ginger. So I have a nice big block of ginger here that I'm putting in. And we know ginger is great for its health qualities as well, and helps with nausea, and also good for your digestive system. So the ginger is in, and it's telling me to put the lid on and to chop. Three seconds to chop your ginger, same as if you're doing garlic or onions or anything. So chopping in your Thermomix is awesome. And I will just show you what we have. And it smells delicious. It's all nicely chopped. I will give it a little scrape. It's not very important because it's just going to be part of the soup anyway. So now this next ingredient, is to add a litre of liquid chicken stock. So you could make your own chicken stock, or you can use chicken stock paste. There's a great recipe for that on Cookie Do. Or what I'm using today is bone broth. And you can buy bone broth, but it's very satisfying to make your own. I make my own bone broth, and I make it in really big batches, and I'm just going to put all that in because it doesn't matter if I have a bit of extra. I make it in my pressure cooker and just use a heap of bones from grass-fed beef bones or chicken bones, whatever you're doing. Veggies, like scrap type veggies, herbs, water, a bit of apple cider vinegar, coconut oil. What else goes in? Yeah, different things. I can send a recipe for the bone broth, but it's just so great for your gut health because of the collagen that's in it, the gelatin that's in it, the glutamine. It's all great for your anti-inflammatory, just really great for your bones as well, because you've got all the calcium that's gone into there from the animal's bones that are now for you as well. So lots of different reasons why bone broth is really good for you. If you haven't tried it, just give it a go. A lot of recipes that even just ask for stock or water, you can use it instead of, yeah, it's great to add it into your diet. So I will press next. Oh, it's asking me now for the miso paste. It's asking for white miso paste. It looks like this. I know it says white and it's not white, but if you compare this to the red miso paste, it is a lot lighter. Now, because miso is that enough? Because miso is fermented, that's another really great thing for your gut health, because it's got the vitamins B, it's got vitamins E, K, folic acid, and basically just anything that's fermented is going to be great beneficially for your gut. So that's another reason why miso is in this recipe. So Tamari, I've put it out into this little bottle because just easier for the recipe. Tamari is a version of soy sauce. It is it's a healthier version than a lot of the commercially available soy sauce because of just the way it is. There's no additives, and it's yeah, fermented soy sauce. So great to use Tamari. Now it's just asking me to add the lid. Just sits on top and turn to speed 1. So now this is going to cook for 10 minutes. Because I'm in guided cooking, this was already set, 10 minutes, 100 degrees, speed 1. If you want to know what is coming up in the recipe without having to open a book or open your app, you can come to these, I'll show you closer. Come to these 3 dots here and then press the recipe detail button and we can look down to see what's next. So now while this is cooking, I will get my chicken ready, my cabbage and my Asian greens. I might even get my mushrooms and everything ready as well. But the other thing you can look at while the recipe is cooking is to come down below and see this tips section, which talks about which noodles you might want to pick. It also talks about replacing the liquid stock with a homemade bone broth, which I talked about. It even recommends a recipe for that. Talks about, here you go, it talks about why miso is good for you. It's a good probiotic, beneficial bacteria, which can also help support your gut health. Cabbage is a particularly good source of prebiotic fiber, as are the shallots, which are in this recipe, and so is the Asian greens. I don't know if it says that there, but yeah, it's really great to get prebiotics into your diet as well, which helps increase your microbial diversity and help the bacteria in your microbiome. So getting plenty of vegetable variety is also really good. We know that about getting different colored vegetables, but just a different variety of veggies is good to make sure you're covering all the different vitamins and minerals each one has. And I think that's what this is talking about. Yep, different types of prebiotic fibers. So yeah, a broad range of veggies will help you with your gut health. So, and I love that this recipe, and the recipes actually all in this collection, they all have those nutritional advice in there as well. Often the tip section of the recipes is more about the method and where to find different ingredients. It doesn't often go into the nutritional benefits. It does always have on the side the nutrition guide, as in energy, protein, carb, fat. That's always in, and if there's sugar as well, that's always there. But yeah, great that Louise Keats has added some extra advice for us on the recipe. I'm going to pause here while this cooks and come back for the next step. Okay, this 10 minutes is almost up, but in the meantime, the other thing that has happened is the noodles were cooked. So I've used my Varoma as a colander to tip out all the water, and then I've just tipped the noodles back into the thermoserver to keep hot. So our insulated oval thermoserver keeps the food hot for a couple of hours or cold. So I can show you the noodles. Well, you just see they're all nicely cooked in there. So I will continue setting that aside. They're fine just to go until the soup's ready. Now this is done. Good timing, press next. Now it's asking me to add in the chicken tenderloins. So I've just cut, that's what happened in that 10 minutes as well, is I cut those tenderloins in half. Nice and easy. So that's going in. Great. And then it's telling me to put the lid on. And we will cook this for 8 minutes. So you're free to leave the kitchen and do whatever else you need to do around the house. Okay, so this is ready. So I'll press next, and it's asking me to remove the chicken and to put it in somewhere to stay warm. And that it doesn't need, you don't need to stress about it being staying super warm. If you don't have a thermoserver to put it in, just kind of cover it as best you can, because at the end it's going to go back like the soup's going to be so hot, and it's just going to be heated up again by that, as long as you're keeping it food safe. And it's only a few minutes that the chicken isn't in here anyway, so yeah, don't stress too much. So the chicken's just been gently poaching in there. This smells really good. I'm sorry we can't convey that in this class tonight. I'm just making sure I get most of the chicken out. Yeah, I think that's probably it. Yeah, oh wait. Oh, I think there's another bit down there. There you go. How much chicken is in there. Okay, so that has been cooking in there. Because it's tenderloin, it's been cooking, and also it started to shred, which is part of the recipe anyway. We're going to shred it, so that's really great. Leave soup in the bowl. Yes, done. Place varoma into position. So I'm going to take out the measure cup for that, so the varoma can sit on top. Now in our varoma, we are going to place the cabbage, which I've just really thinly sliced, and the Asian greens. I've got pak choi here that I've just really roughly chopped, but you can see, oh, you can't see, I better show you. It's really nice and full now. The varoma is 3.3 litres, so you can make a lot of food in there. Here it is. By the time you fill the bowl with 2.2 litres and the varoma with 3.3 litres, you can make a lot of food in your Thermomix. So, meanwhile, shred the reserved chicken and divide it between your serving bowls with the noodles. So I will do that. That's kind of boring to watch. What is it? Well, anyway, I'll just get my board. I thought I might as well show you how to shred, for those who really don't know how to shred some of the chicken. If you use 2 forks, it should just shred really easily. But I did also want to mention that you can shred your chicken in the Thermomix, but because I'm using it right now, I am following the recipe. It tells you just to do it manually. So 3 or 4 seconds on reverse, speed 4 is how you shred your chicken, and it just shreds beautifully. I do that for like going in soups or making sandwich meat. What else? Oh, for pulled pork, after you've cooked your pork, I'd like to let Thermomix shred it for you. But see, I'm just using 2 forks to do it manually. You can do that. I'm sure some people use chopsticks to do that. That works as well. It's just pulling apart the pieces that are already, it's not cutting it because it's already been poached. It's just pulling it apart at the seams where you can see it already coming apart. So yeah, pretty easy. And if you want to keep your chicken whole in your soup, you can leave it whole. You don't have to shred it. So I'll keep doing that and show you the next step. Okay, this is ready now. So it's telling me to remove the varoma and divide the cooked greens between the serving bowls. When taking your varoma off, I do just want to show you this. Because the contents are hot, just open it away from you rather than opening it that way where the steam is coming right at your face level. So just open it away from you. You can see the steam coming out the top there. It smells so good. And then you just divide some of the greens, if you can see that, between the bowls. So I'm getting a mixture of the pak choi and the cabbage. Great. And we are going to add in, okay, while that's happening, yeah, add in our shiitake mushrooms. Now, shiitake mushrooms are good for vitamin B and D2. You can buy them at most fruit shops or just supermarket. If you can't ever find them, you can buy dried shiitake mushrooms and soak them for half an hour to rehydrate them. You can do that as well. And now it's asking me to add the fresh Enoki mushrooms. That's these ones for those who aren't sure. These have a protein that help balance out your immune system, as well as having some antioxidants in them. So these mushrooms are great. So that's just going in as well. And lid back on. Do I have a measure cup? Yes, I do. And this is just going to go for 2 minutes. It's on reverse. I don't know if you can see that. But here, we've got it on reverse down here. That means just the blunt side of the blades are spinning, so nothing in there is going to be chopping. The blades in the Thermomix are Solingen and steel, and when going in a forward motion, a clockwise motion on a high speed, they're very powerful. But yeah, just on a very low speed on reverse, it's just a great stirring tool so that your dinner can be cooking and stirring itself while you go out of the kitchen and do other things. So I will. Okay, that is done, and I believe that is the end of the recipe. It's telling me to divide the soup and the mushrooms between the bowl and between the bowls, and then to serve with a garnish, which is great too. But it smells so good. I want to get a mixture of the mushrooms first before I start randomly dividing. Looks so good. Okay, now I'm going to pour. When you're pouring liquid out of your Thermomix bowl, so normally you grab it via this, I guess, but if you get your hand underneath and really grab the lower handle, you've got a lot more control. And if I just pour on top of my spatula, it's not going to splatter everywhere. I'm just pouring in the soup. You can see what I've done here. And the last step is your garnish. So I've got some shallots here, which, as we learned earlier, is a great prebiotic. And I have some sesame seeds here as well, which are always a good garnish on top of anything. Lots of different seeds have different vitamins in them, which is great. So there is our miso chicken and noodle soup from the Gut Health Collection. Hopefully you can all see that, and you still have quick and easy it was for me to do. I mostly didn't have to be in the kitchen, but that's ready to go. Thanks for watching.